Hello, good evening. This is Sharon from Everything Beautiful. So this evening I'd like to show you how to do the calculation for your fitted sheet for your king size mattress that is very wide. It's actually 105 inches, I would say. That's the king size bed. um, and it's also 105 inches, or it could be 108 inches, which is 3 yards of fabric. Now, there is not a problem with the length of the fabric. That means from head to toe, because you're in control of that. You can purchase any amount of yardage that you desire. The problem is that sometimes we cannot get the width of the material, and so we have to buy one that is not as wide as this. Now remember that the left side, the depth of the mattress is 10 inches. The surface here is 80 inches. And here to the right, the depth is 10 inches. And this is actually the width. So 10 over there, 80 here, that is 90, and another 10, that is 100 inches. And of course you want to add some allowance, and that can be 5 inches, just a little half or 1 inch for the allowance for the elastic. So you don't need a lot. Me personally, I like my fitted sheet to be snug but not tight. I don't like when I wake up it's all messy and too much fabric, and I have to be, straightening it out or whatever it is. So I do not make my fitted sheet very big. As I said, snug but not tight. So what if we have fabric that is 90 inches wide? How how can we work with that to make it possible to get a fitted sheet from a 90 width? Remember, also, I explained in a previous video that the king size mattress is actually 80 inches long by 78 inches wide, but I always just do them 80 by 80. So whichever way you want to put the sheet, that is okay. The 2 inches doesn't make a big difference. So from the 10 inches here and the 90 and the 80 on the surface and another 10 here for the length, that's no problem, as I said before, because you are going to purchase the length that you need. The problem that is that when we go to purchase, sometimes we do not get the width what we really need. So this is out of our hands. The length, we have control over that. So I'm going to show you what I do when there is a problem. So here is the measurement, and I've explained to you already the length and the width of the fabric that's needed. So we have 80 for the surface of the bed and 10 inches for the bed head, 10 inches for the bed foot, and that is 100, and I gave it 5 inches allowance. And for the width, it's basically the same. The width is 80 by 10 for the left side, 10 for the right side, that's 100, and that's another 5 for allowance. And you could actually round this off to 3 yards. It could be 108 inches, which would be 3 inches difference. So we could purchase 3 yards in length for this fitted sheet. Also, some people would say, or I've heard someone said, when you have this width, okay, and you don't have enough fabric because it's not wide, instead of purchasing, you'd have to double this. So whatever this is, so we're working with 105, but we could purchase 108, which is 3 inches more than this, and that is 3 yards. So someone said you could purchase another 3 yards, and that would make it 6 yards. That's a lot of fabric. You could also get your pillowcases from that, and you could make some cushions. But what if you can't afford to purchase that extra 3 yards? So that extra 3 yards in Jamaica just now would be another, for some material, $700 per yard would be another $2,100. Not everybody want to spend that extra amount, for another 3 yards. So let me show you what I do. Here, this is what I did. I recently, um, you know, had this situation and had to solve it. So I'm using a miniature, but I'll consider this to be my full 90 with fabric, 90 by full 3 yards. As I said, it's 105, but we could just make it 108 inches if you want a little bit more allowance to be tucked under the mattress. So from here to here, it is my 3 yards or my 105 inches, if that's what you want to use. And the width is 90 inches. Now 90 and 15 will give me a total of 105, or if you're working with the full 3 yards, 108 inches. If the material, the width of the material, will take you there. Okay, so 90 here, and I have a piece of 15 inches fabric that I cut to adjoin here to this side. What I will do, I'll cut my square here. That's 12 inches. The mattress is 10 inches, but I'll cut it 12. I'll cut another one here, and I'll actually fold my fabric in four. But to this side, I won't cut a square. The material that I have will not reach up there. So what I have here is my 105 inches in width for my mattress, but it will not go to the corner. What I did, and it worked out pretty well, was stitch this to the right side. Okay, just a little 1/4 inch seam or 1/2 inch seam, and you could even add a little bit more allowance on this. If you have the 108 inches, if you bring it to that, that's okay. You can work with that. If you cut it 105, you can probably give it another 1 inch to make it 106, because there's going to be a seam here. So first you stitch it to the right side. As a matter of fact, what you do first is ensure that the corners here, that you cut a piece of fabric that will fit here, but you'll actually leave the space here for the 12 inches, okay? And leave it here for the 12 inches, and that is for the corner. Remember, we already have it over this side. So after you finish stitching this on the right side, you're going to turn it to the left side and stitch it, and it's called a French seam. Or if you just want to stitch it and then serge it to have a more decorative look, that is up to you. So this is what it's looking like. I take away the corner. Remember, I've joined the 15 inches to the 90 inches, and now I have 105 inches. And see, so where the space is, you don't have to bring it up. You can just cut the fabric and leave off the 12 inches space. As a matter of fact, what I should actually say is that you don't have enough, so you just ensure that you have enough to go right to where the 12 inches would finish, or maybe 11 inches, and then you just fold it over. Okay, remember it's already stitched, and then you cut your corner, and that will now give you your fitted sheet, and you would join this, okay, together, meaning on the right side you'd stitch a seam and then turn it over and stitch it on the wrong side, and that is a French seam. Now, what I actually did, and so if you find yourself in this position, you don't have to buy another 3 yards to do that. So you purchase a yard for the pillowcase, and that is actually 90 inches wide of 36, which is 1 yard. and you have enough for the pillowcase, you can actually purchase another half yard to do this, okay? And the half yard that you purchase might just be extended to the top here, okay? But I didn't want to go purchase anymore, and so this was what I did. And it can be done, or it has been done all the time in interior decorating. One of the problem you might come up with is that this could be on the straight, and this could be on the cross, and you call that railroad. So one would be on the cross and one would be on the straight, okay? And that means weft and warp. It doesn't really affect the sheet. You want to ensure also that the seam comes to right at the edge of the bed, okay? So when you lie on the surface here, you don't have to be dealing with that seam. So this seam would come right at the edge of the bed or below. It doesn't matter. It's not going to be seen any at all. And if this is even a king size bed or a queen size bed, nobody really sits on, lies on the edge of the king size bed or the queen size bed, okay? So the seam would not affect you in any way. So that is how you do it. So what you can